everybody, and welcome to a P1 video in the flesh. And yes, Esty Bestie is here once again, and today we are going to do a very exciting video where you answer...
What is it?
You know what it is.
Yes, you told me just before.
Google's most asked questions. Here we go then. Right, the first question is, how tall is Esteban Ocon?
Well, you are going to have some new numbers. Yeah.
New numbers?
Yeah.
Oh, so like when Google's always wrong.
No. I'm sure that comes from Formula One, the information, and they put 186. But I measured myself not too long ago, and I'm 188.
You've grown?
I've grown, yeah. I don't know how is that possible.
How old are you?
26.
You're still growing. That's
apparently
incredible.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Formula One, like the G-forces or something.
Yeah, it's probably, it's putting me the other way. It's not compressing me, it's putting me high.
What is it like being the tallest driver?
Not good. I tell you.
You wish you were shrinking at this point.
Yeah, I wish I was smaller. No, it's a lot of problems, obviously, to try and fit yourself the best in the car. So the engineers, they have to work a lot to try and get you a bigger tub, a good position, and you have a lot of helmet lift as well if you're quite high.
So how much time do you think you're losing being as tall as you are?
No, I don't think I'm losing time
3 seconds a
anymore.
lap. Okay.
Okay, yeah. 3 seconds
we'll go
a
with that.
lap.
There
Yes.
you go. You would have won every race you've taken part in. The next one is Esteban Ocon parents. How much influence have they had on your career? Because I don't feel like your journey to Formula One is spoken about enough, because it wasn't easy by any stretch. Like you hear Lewis Hamilton's story and how inspirational that is, but I feel like yours is is a really interesting one as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. My parents, they've dedicated their whole life to me, which is not something that every parents do, and I feel super privileged to have had this chance, and for my parents to sacrifice everything, because they were believing that I had some capabilities. And since I was super young, everything that I wanted to do was Formula One.
There weren't any other sports that you were good at? Really?
Well, yeah, I was good at all the sports.
Good at all of them, but
no,
just not as good.
Not all of them. Not all of them, but as soon as there was an engine, I was better.
Yeah. So which other sports are you really good at then, would you say?
Well, I was quite good at motocross when I was younger. I mean, in my garden.
Who are you racing against?
Yeah, Charles.
Okay,
Charles,
okay.
yeah. We were doing some motocross, lap time motocross on his garden as well.
How old were you then?
We were, what, 7, 8?
So you and Charles were racing each other at that time? That's amazing.
On the motocross, yeah. It was good fun.
Who won?
Well, we had a lot of shots. That's all I can tell you. But yeah, not
None of you won.
debate. Yeah,
Did Ocon grow up poor? There's people that, as I kind of mentioned, like billionaire kids, making it very easy through there. Would you say your family were poor when you grew up?
No, I would not say no that we were poor. I never, lacked, anything in particular. I always had, enough food. I always had enough clothes. We were not rich enough, to be doing the sport that we were doing. That's very clear. But we were not poor, and my parents were, doing everything they could, for me to grow up normally and to grow up the best way, I could. So no, I was not poor.
So when you were growing up as well, did you have like a little part-time job or something were you just focusing on racing, or did you have to do like any little jobs?
Well, no, I was helping my dad basically as much as I could, because, he was working on his garage, by himself, working on the cars and all that. But at the time I was too young, to really help. I was trying to clean, things that I could, and to try and give him, an easier time. But it was when we were going go-karting that he had to, build the tent, unload and load the truck itself, load the caravan. Yeah, it was all of these, different aspects that nobody really saw, that he was doing all by himself, on top of being, the race mechanic. And helping my mom as well. So no, we were basically flat out doing all that.
Was that quite a special thing to have them so close to you as you were going through the ranks and pushing yourself and trying to win, like to have your dad there alongside you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they were the biggest support. And of course we had, great people that came around as well to support them financially. And, for a year or two, we suddenly had, money to buy new tires, to buy, chassis.
Yes, tires.
Yeah, tires and engines, and yeah, it was just seeing the progress, that was great, and seeing, how we evolved by ourselves, really. It only tastes sweeter now.
Next one, Esteban Ocon SpiderMan. Now, I know we've spoken about this in the podcast, but for those that haven't seen it, tell us about your love of Spider-Man.
Well, the love from Spider-Man probably comes from these days, when we're traveling in the van and the caravan. I had this little screen with 3 DVDs, and the 3 DVDs were Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3.
No other films?
No, there was no other films.
No.
They were on repeat, forever. When we are doing Évreux to Sarno by caravan at 90 kph with the truck, that's about 15 to 17 hour drive. I had a lot of time to play Spider-Man.
You must know every word of the entire Spider-Man
series. Yeah, very close. I probably forgot now a bit because I stopped watching it for probably 7
I'm
8
sure
years.
It'll come back to you.
But it will come back.
So have you ever had the full costume? Have you ever
No.
That needs to happen.
I had the web, the spider webs, as I said.
But not the full, the full.
But I have a better thing. I have a race helmet Spider-Man, so.
Of course. We need the overalls as well.
Exactly.
The full kit.
We'll ask Alpine.
Alpine? Okay, cool. I don't know what, I do work here now, apparently.
Exactly, yeah.
Next one is Esteban Ocon Drive to Survive. Where do you stand on it? Do you enjoy it? Do you sit there and go, that's an accurate representation of Formula One? Where do you have your opinion?
I think, honestly, I think season 1 was really nice. And I've enjoyed, filming with Netflix. I've gave them, a lot of my time, to come in filming at my training center and all that. And I think it followed, quite well to some extent, who I was. I think after that it started to become a little bit too dramatic at times, but we can't complain, having good advertising on our sport and good advertising on ourselves as well as athletes. I think it's just awesome to be covered by such a platform. So Drive to Survive, I would say, watch it.
Yeah, so you've watched every season?
No.
Season 1.
I watched season 1, and no, you know what I did is even worse than that. The future season, I've watched it in frame, so I was looking at, I know what they are going to say there, because I was there, obviously, the whole season, so I knew how they were going to shape things once I saw the images. That's
actually a question to lead off of that is, do you watch the races back? So do you actually go back and watch Crofty commentating over a race? Because I know some drivers don't, some drivers do.
I do watch highlights every time, that's for sure. And then when there is some crucial moments or things that I need to look out for what happened at that time or what could we have done better, I do watch.
Next one is Esteban Ocon Ballon d'Or. Now this was an interesting event where you actually drove an F1 car to the event, or in the. What was that like?
That was
you delivered the trophy.
That was insane. Like how even like holding the Ballon d'Or already is something that nobody really had the chance of doing so, apart from the players, the football players, and the top ones. But to do it twice, to bring it once on stage already, and then to bring it with a Formula One car. Like, I think there's no F1 driver that can say, oh yeah, I drove in Paris town with an F1 car, and I did so. So
it's a crossover I don't think anyone really expected either.
Yeah.
Like, it's Formula One.
And you know what? I dig a hole in the floor as well, on the ground, on the tarmac.
Did you?
Yeah.
Gave it a bit too much wheel spin, did you?
Yeah, well, basically, they told me, oh yeah, you can do donuts on that street. And I said, but what are those cones? Like, can you remove them? No, actually, those are metal bars. And I'm like, but I can't do a donuts through 2 meters wide, That's not possible. So basically, I wheel spun for like a minute, like sat down on the floor, and I dig the hole in the ground.
Well, that's cool. That should be like then sign or Esteban Ocon was
maybe
here.
You can send that to the Paris.
That's a cool thing. But it clearly meant a lot to you. That was a special moment.
Yeah, it's a special moment. Yeah, it was just awesome, and
I bet the room was full of just star-studded celebrities everywhere.
Well,
right?
Like 1 meter away, it was Zidane, Ronaldo. In front of me was Kylian Mbappe, and I mean, I got a signed jersey by Kylian Mbappe and by other players as well. So it's awesome.
You're just like a kid in the candy shop.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Who do I speak to next? Ronaldo's over there.
Yeah, what am I doing there? Like, it's awesome.
This next Google question just made me laugh, so I included it. Is Esteban Ocon good? Is a question that people decide to type. How would you respond to that? Are you good?
I hope so.
F1 race winner.
I'm trying to be good in my sport, but actually I have a funny story. Somebody not too long ago, actually, was the launch this year in London. Somebody came and talked to me and said, "Can we have a picture?" And then we started chatting about the launch, about the new season and stuff like that. And he said, "You know what? I didn't like you before," but I said, "But why?" Because
why would you say that?
yeah, you don't know me. Yeah, but from what I used to see and from your racing actions and stuff like that, I didn't like you. But now that I've talked to you, you know, you're a really nice guy. And honestly, it did hurt me a bit because I thought, you know, it's strange to. But I was happy that he told me in a way because probably that's what people don't realize, that when you are racing, it's something completely different to how you are as a person.
The last one, which we have spoken about a little bit in the podcast, but just for those that haven't seen, Esteban Ocon win. We didn't ask in the podcast was when Hamilton didn't peel into the pits, did you go, that's P1, thank you very much?
No.
No? Did you think, oh God, I should have stayed out?
Yes. That's exactly what I thought. It was obvious because to me, it was completely dry and I thought, okay, 100%, you know, he's going to come in. But because you don't see the other cars coming in with you, then I thought, I did a mistake there. Because it's not often that Lewis does a mistake like that, especially on the wet, getting a track getting dry, they got it every time right, you know, Mercedes. And then I look behind me and I see everyone pitting and I'm like, okay, okay, that's going to be all right. But the crazy thing that nobody really spoke about though, was the fact that then we come out at the end of the pit lane, I stop. So I'm effectively P2 because Lewis is on the track. And then I'm going back on neutral because I'm thinking, you know, it's going to be extremely long, you know, the restart period. And I actually missed the restart a bit. Like, I must have done like a reaction time of like 5/10 instead of like 2.
Oh, really slow.
Yeah, but that's really slow in Formula 1 standards.
Yeah.
And then I get George, you know, passing me through. And I'm thinking, I missed my start. You know? But no, actually, he was not allowed to pass. But for me, it was normal that he passed me because I missed the start. Mm-hmm. But no, then, you know, he had to let me go. But that would have been a different race, I think, if George had stayed in front there.
Yeah, I forgot about George. He was
not easy to pass at the time.
Yeah, because wasn't his teammate Latifi holding everyone up as well,
yes,
which gave a really nice buffer for you and Vettel to just drive away.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you send Latifi a little check in the post?
No, I didn't do.
Oh, no, it's an amazing story though, and one that we love reflecting on. And when that moment was when you drove over the line, checkered flag was for you. Did you cry? What was?
Yeah, I had tears at the time. Yeah, definitely, and like all the emotions came out. Very strange noise at one point as well. I went like, you know, like I was very strange.
Sorry, what was that again? Just for the camera.
Something like that. But yeah, it was all the emotions and all the flashbacks from all the years of, you know, hard work and the tough times really that came back through my mind. And all worth it.
I bet your parents were over the moon, weren't they? Like, what did they say to you? Like the first things they said to you when you eventually spoke to them?
Oh, yeah, they were on the phone. They were all crying, and everybody turned up at my house. My whole family and everyone. Yeah, they all came, and it was just awesome. I got that picture when they all did a picture and holding a glass of champagne. I will always keep that one as a great memory.
Well, there you go. There is Esteban Ocon's most Googled questions. I want to say thank you so much, my friend.
It was nice because they were not the most Googled questions. So
we had to, nice. You know, we were nice about it. But I hope you enjoyed it, Esteban. Thank you so much for coming on to the P1 video, and we'll see him and you very soon.
See you soon.